What's up guys, welcome back to Finance to Fly. My name is Luke and I'm here to help you elevate your travel while minimizing your spending. Today we're reviewing once again the United Explorer card. This time it's been revamped. So recently, back in February of this year, 2025, I ended up uploading a video reviewing the Explorer card. Lo and behold, about a month and a half later, they of course had to revamp it and increase a lot of things and add a lot of things. So I am back to reviewing it, give you an updated 2025 refreshed United Explorer card review. Start things off, the annual fee is $150. Luckily, it is waived the first year. And for the sign-up bonus, you can get anywhere from 60 to 80,000 miles after $3,000 spent in the first 3 months. The debut offer that they used when they first opened up this card as newly revamped was 80,000 miles, but now that that offer's expired, you probably can get 60 to 70 to 80, depending on when you sign up, and I would definitely recommend signing up for the 80,000 mile offer if it is available. So for earnings rates, United is pretty tricky on their website. They like to include the earnings rates you get when you have a Mileage Club membership, which is free for everyone. You'll get 5 base miles on that, but we're just going to talk about the card. And for the card, you get 2 miles per dollar spent on United purchases, hotels, and dining, and then 1 point per dollar spent everywhere else. So for $150, you're going to get a lot of benefits on this card. Let's go over these. First off, you and one other companion are going to get your first check bag free. You'll get 25% off in-flight purchases, a $120 global entry / TSA pre-check credit, 2 United Club passes. You'll earn 1 PQP per $20 spent, up to 1,000 PQPs a year. And then you'll get some basic travel and purchase protections, as well as priority boarding with Group 2. Then, once you spend $20,000, you'll get a 10,000 mile award discount on your next award flight, and you'll also get a $100 travel credit when you spend $10,000 on the card. You can get up to $100 per year in prepaid hotel stays when you book directly through United with their United portal. These are 2 $50 credits. You'll get a $5 a month rideshare credit for a total of $60. You'll get $25 back on your first 2 rental car bookings through Avis or Budget in the form of Travel Bank Cash, by the way. You'll get a $100 JSX flight credit, a $10 a month Instacart credit for a total of $120, and of course, last but not least, no foreign transaction fees. So that was a lot of perks, a lot of new ones that were added, a lot of the credits. So we're gonna go over what are these worth when you are holding this card year after year. What can you expect on your return of that $150 annual fee? First off, you're gonna have your check bags. That was a staple in the last card, staple in this card. At the very least, you'll probably check a bag for 1 round trip, just for 1 person, right? This is very conservative amount. We're gonna value that at $40 each way, or $80 total. You should be able to get a lot more value out of that if you're checking a bag every week, or if you're traveling with a companion and checking bags. Either way, $80 is very conservative. Put that up on the board for check bags. Next up, you get the 2 United Club one-time passes. That's pretty easy. They are $59 when you buy them. So we're gonna put the value as $59 because if you do use them, they're very nice. You get some free food, stuff like that. You get the whole $59 value, especially if you have got a longer layover. So $118 on the screen now. And then now for the new credits. So firstly, for the hotel credit, you'll get 2 prepaid $50 credits once you prepay for your hotels through the United portal. This is kind of irritating, and I don't know how many people will use this, especially if you have other cards. That's where my mindset is, by the way, for these credits. If you have this card, you probably have a couple other cards, and that's where I kind of get the ideas on these credits and why I kind of value them not as straightforward as what they advertise. But because you have to book this hotel prepaid and through the United travel portal, I think this is only worth $25 a year. Reason being is it's oftentimes really just tedious to go book through United's travel portal, and only for $50. I don't know how many people will do that, especially because a lot of people like to keep their status and loyalty through Marriott, Hilton, IHG, Hyatt. They want to keep their status, they want to get their elite night credits, they want to get their points over there. If you don't care about that, then yeah, you can be able to book it through the United, be able to get the full value. But most of the time, I don't think people will directly book through United. Unless this is your only card, then I definitely would. but I'll value it at $25. Next up, you're gonna get the monthly $5 credit for rideshare. You will have to book your rideshare with this card in order to get it. It's not like the Amex credit. So you're gonna have to make sure you book with this card. It's still pretty easy to use. It's a rideshare credit, $5 a month. It should be pretty easy to use as long as you do use a rideshare a couple times a month or at least once a month. So I'm gonna definitely put it as a $60 value there. And then we're gonna look at the $25 back from Avis and Budget after you make a rental car purchase for 2 times max. I only am going to value this at half the time because maybe you don't book rental cars a lot, or maybe you do have some sort of status, Hertz or whatever, and you want to use that when you book your rental car or whatever it is. Valuing it at $25 pretty much is like, hey, you might use it 1 year, you might not use it 2 times, whatnot. But also another downside of this is a travel bank credit, so and eventually you will have to spend that back on United. So it's not like a statement credit. It's not a true cash back statement credit. It's a travel bank credit, and I don't want to value that as a full $50 because you eventually will have to purchase something more with that travel bank cash. For the $100 JSX credit, it's great, right? You get $100 back if you purchase JSX flight, but a lot of the JSX flights are flying the same routes as American, Delta, United, Spirit, Frontier, you name it, they're probably flying it, right? The only advantage JSX has maybe is the departure time, and it's a first class seat. And I think if you do have a United card, you're probably going to book with United because you like United, right? I just don't see people going to another website such as JSX to book another flight where you can fly United on that same route. The only 2 times I think that'll happen is when the times for the JSX flight work better for your schedule, or if you want a kind of, I guess, a once in a while trip or whatnot. It's just such a weird credit when JSX might be competing with United on some routes. I don't understand why they would put this in here other than I know they're partnered on some things. It's just, I wouldn't value it as much because, I mean, especially if you're only having the $150 annual fee card, you probably aren't trying to spend $300, $400, $500 on a 2-hour flight unless you really have to, right? Not to mention that's probably one way. So in total, I will give the JSX a $10 value out of the 100 just because it's just such a weird credit to have on a lower annual fee card, and you probably will just fly straight United instead of using a JSX credit because JSX is going to be expensive. Lastly, you got the $10 a month Instacart credit. By the way, the card comes with 3 months free of Instacart Plus. That's great and all. I like this Instacart credit. It gives you a lot of value. $120 if you can use it all. It's Instacart. I think since you can't get the full free membership with this card, a $10 credit will barely cover the delivery fees, the tip, all that stuff. But you can just go buy your groceries in person, not have a delivery fee, not have to pay the tip. The $10 credit's nice. If you're using Instacart, it just means $10 back. I don't see a lot of people going out of their way to start using Instacart now that they have that credit, if that makes sense. So I feel like this credit may only work 25% of the time, and that's why I'm going to give it a value of $30 in value, because maybe you do have to order something from Instacart every once in a while, right? Maybe it's like once every couple months. Then it's great, you get it $10 back. It's a nice little credit. Chances are, if you aren't using Instacart right now, you're not gonna go out of the way to just save $10 when you actually have to start using, you have to start either paying for their membership, delivery fees, tips, all that stuff is included in Instacart. It's hard to justify adding all those costs just for a $10 credit. So in total, all the credits that I've talked about at a very conservative value, it's going to be valued around $349. And so when you take out the annual fee, you're probably going to be around $199 ahead, which is pretty good. It's not bad at all. I mean, especially because that first year you get the annual fee waived. It's a solid way to get some money back. And if you especially take advantage of the check bags, it's a solid conservative valuation of the card. Moving on to redemptions, I wanted to show some new redemptions this time. Since I do live in Cleveland, it's kind of my easiest one to go to. All of these, we're going to be departing Cleveland and connecting in one of the United's hubs in order to make a trip to Latin America. I thought this was a good idea just because maybe you're not connecting from a hub, you don't live in a hub city, and maybe you have to fly to a hub beforehand. I'm using Cleveland just because that's my example, but you can pretty much input your city and it'll give you similar results. But either way, the first redemption we're going to be doing is a one-way ticket to Liberia, Costa Rica from Cleveland. This will be an Economy Award flight. It's only 2 3-hour flights, so it's not really bad. 20,000 miles only to get down there. That's pretty good. And you'll have to pay $24 in taxes and fees. But that's better than the $282 in cash cost you would pay for the same one-way ticket. You aren't going to get the best cent per point with only a little over 1 cent per point, but it's still a good value for your points if you have to take this trip. I mean, why do you stack up points? It's so you don't pay cash. Next up, we're gonna head down to Panama now from Cleveland. You're gonna take that same 6:15 a.m. flight out of Cleveland, land in Houston, and then you're gonna make your way on to Panama. Pretty much a similar redemption. 20,000 miles and only $7 in taxes and fees, and $287 is what the cash cost is. It's a little bit better value for your points, but still it's a better value overall because you're not paying cash. So another example of economy booking from a connecting city to a hub to a Latin America city. Last but not least, this last redemption is going to have us landing in San Salvador and El Salvador. Usually this flight will cost 23,000 miles, but because I have Premier status, it's only 20,000 miles. I don't think that really makes a difference unless you're really tight on miles, but either way, it's a little bit different. And there's only $7 in taxes and fees again, and this same flight will be $263 in a cash cost. Overall, not bad for a cash cost, but pay with points. You don't have to pay the cash at all, right? That's one of the reasons why we stack up points, so we don't have to spend that cash. So what are my thoughts on this card and who is this card for? Well, I had a lot of thoughts on this card, and I started writing this video and researching this video along with a new quest video and a new club card video that are going to be coming out in the next couple weeks. It was very interesting to see how this was my first one, and as I progressed into the other cards, I ended up coming back here and changing my opinion. Originally, I was pretty, I guess, irritated about all the new credits, but now I'm like, all right, it's still not that bad, right? They added $55 in annual fees, but they added about $400 in credits. And the thing that I like the most about this card still, and I think this is why the main reason you should get this card if you need it, it's for the free check bags, okay? If you fly and you have to check bags constantly throughout the year, getting free check bags through this card will help so much. To not have to pay for those check bags, I mean, $80 a person round trip is a lot of money. You add that up over 10 round trip tickets, it's $800, or 4 round trip tickets with a spouse. That's $800 you're saving. That's where the major savings are going to come in with this card. The credits are great, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them are kind of wishy-washy. They're so low in value that sometimes you probably will just skip over them just because you might have either a credit on another card that is higher value that you need to use, or it just doesn't apply to you and you're not going to go out of way for 25 or 50 bucks because you want to get status somewhere else and earn more points somewhere else. It's a very unique card where if you really like the card and this is your only card, or you can really excel using this card and get all those credits and really make out, okay? You have a really good opportunity to make out, but still, it's still low enough annual fee where you can get good value out of checking your bags for free and the 2 United Club one-time passes. I mean, for example, the $5 rideshare credit, oh, it's great, don't get me wrong, $5 back, that's pretty easy to use, but if you have an Amex, you're probably going to want to use the $10 or $15 credit that you're getting from them before you use this, and if you only have one ride, you're going to use that stuff before you use the $5, right? So a lot of times you could lose some of these credits just to like stuff like that, and that's why I think they kind of excelled with this card. It's perfect for those that can use all these credits and really only want one card, and they want this United card, and they want a low annual fee, and they can get all the check bags. It also still excels as that check bag card. Get you those free check bags. If you don't have status, it's a good way to save some money on your trip. Where I think they alienated a lot of people is it's a big annual fee for a lot of credits that are super hard to use. I think if I were to ever get this card, I would get it for the first year for the sign-up bonus, and I wouldn't pretty much be able to keep it just because I don't use any of those credits. I wouldn't use any of those credits. I don't check bags, and I would use the United one-time passes, but I would just buy them at that point because it's cheaper than paying for the annual fee on the card. It's a very interesting card, and I think my reviews of the Quest and the Club cards kind of encapsulate how it shifts in a weird sort of way where it becomes more and more valuable to hold the higher annual fee cards. It's because their credits are worth more, which also makes sense, but you'll be surprised on my final pick on which card I would suggest having overall. I will tell you it's not this card. Once I get through all the videos, you'll find out which card I would pick personally and probably will be picking personally. As terms of who this card is for, it's for those who either love United and want a card and they don't have any other cards and they can use all those credits. Use all those credits, get a lot of value out of this card. It's either that or if you need free check bags for United. It's an easy way to get some free check bags. Definitely would recommend this card for that. Who's this card not for? People that don't fly United, obviously, people who don't check their bag, and people that like to get credits but they want more value out of the credits. You can get a lot more value out of the Quest and the Club card credits than this card, and I would recommend those over this card for that reason. So all in all, wrapping things up, what do you think? What do you think of the card? What do you think of the new changes on the card? Do you think I missed anything? What do you think of my valuation of the credits? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you could hit that like and subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. Until next time, have a great day.